I'm intimidated by the fear of being average. Taylor Swift. It's day 17 of 31 days to overcome fear. I'm Jewel Carter. I've often heard that average people do average things, and extraordinary people do things that most can't imagine. When I think of average, I think of that C grade I got back in school. You know, that grade that says you showed up, did a little work, and you didn't fail. That's what I think living an average life must be like. Just showing up. Doing as little as possible to get the minimum amount of what you need to make it to the next day, to the next check, the next relationship, the next job, the next lifetime. One of my mom's biggest fears was being alone, growing old and dying alone. I think a lot of people share that fear. See, for her, she experienced most of her life watching people leave her, from her father to a newborn baby, mother, grandmother, a few would-be suitors, to me, her only child. I remember stories she told me and the pain that was still inside of her, and I made a choice early on to not be my mother, to never allow myself to be hurt by people leaving me. I'd leave first. Remember I mentioned the Bonnie Raitt song, Love Equals Leave? Somewhere between my childhood and first failed marriage, I went from the fear of allowing someone to get too close and leaving to taking every day as a gift that it is. But that was a long road. And I didn't walk away from that experience with my first husband bitter and mad. I ran with excitement and fear. At the time, I was working at a radio station doing oldies, and my program director said the best and worst thing anyone could have said to me at the time. He said, "You are so good. You could stay here forever." So yes, I ran. Away from a drug-addicted ex-husband in a town that had all the trappings of an average life, to a city that I'd never heard of, to do a job I'd never done, with 2 kids, and I never looked back. So imagine my surprise 2 months in Savannah, meeting this man, almost 10 years younger than me, who I talked to for 3 months over the phone before our first real date. And on day 1, I told him, if I don't ever see you again, it'll be okay, 'cause I'm thankful for the time we've had. He took off his shirt, went into the kitchen and cooked me dinner. That was 16 years ago. And he still cooks me dinner, shirtless. And I still stand by my statement. But now he follows it with, ain't nobody going nowhere. It turns out that my fear of letting anyone get too close was no match for his desire to love and to be loved for who he was, not the public face he had put up for the world and everyone else that came before me to see. Who knew that a girl with a fear of being like her mother and a boy with a fear of being like his dad's, plural, would equal a love that defied the odds? Can I tell you that we have a perfectly flawed relationship, filled with a little sad but not tragic past, feelings that will never die, and some memories that we wish would. But if I had to live my life over again and endure all the pain, lies, doubt, and fear that brought me to this place, to be with this man, I would in a heartbeat. My biggest regret when it comes to my mom is not that she died too soon, but that she died before ever knowing a love like this. Before she could see that there are men out there that want to be loved and give love just as much as she did. Men like my husband, who will laugh at your silliness, cry with you, for you, over you, and remain strong enough to lift you in the air and leave you there, even when he's angry, mad, hurt, or confused. Men that know that supporting your strength doesn't make them weak or less of a man. And no, that is not average. That is extraordinary. I'm intimidated by the fear of being average.